Imagine a world where you can make your own gun with a 3D printer. Well, that time is here.
But the Washington Attorney General is trying to stop it with a multi-state lawsuit against the Trump administration. Hannah Kim has the latest on the debate.
The era of the downloadable gun is here. That's what Cody Wilson, the man behind the idea, is saying on his website, Defense Distributed.
I'm printing guns, one, as just an exercise in, experimentalism. Can you print a gun? But really, for me, it's important as like a symbolic political statement.
That was Wilson talking to CNN back in 2013. The State Department told him he was violating the rules, so he sued the feds with the help of the Second Amendment Foundation. Now, years later, the feds deciding to settle the case, allowing Wilson to publish his online plans showing people how to make guns with a 3D printer.
It's outrageous. I mean, honestly, if we were at a bar having a beer, my language would be even stronger. I can assure you.
Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson announcing that this state will be the first to go after the Trump administration over the settlement.
They essentially threw the game. They're winning, right, decisively throughout this litigation. And then, arbitrarily, they say, we're going to settle this case.
Ferguson says they want a judge to immediately stop Wilson from publishing his plans. But as of tonight, the Second Amendment Foundation says some of the downloadable gun files are already online.
And this is a way of protecting gun rights in the future, because in the future, all guns are going to be made by 3D printers. All cars are going to be made by 3D printers.
Alan Gottlieb says the settlement came down recently after the State Department realized they couldn't win their case over violations of the First Amendment.
This is part of the Trump derangement syndrome. And they figure if they blame Trump for everything, they might get away with a win. This has nothing to do with President Trump.
Seattle's mayor and police chief say allowing anyone to make a 3D gun with a printer is a public safety as well as a national security problem.
This year to date, we've already taken over 700 guns off of the street. If people have the ability to download these guns arbitrarily, the danger to the public is going to be so immense.
This is not a question of gun rights. This is really, if there were a terrorist and criminal rights organization, they'd be cheering today. Because this is all about how people who shouldn't get guns can get guns easily.
Durkin says the guns may not be traceable with no serial numbers and background checks.
Criminals and terrorists do that right now today under the current laws. If you want to strengthen those laws against criminals and terrorists, we're all for it. But don't take away people's First Amendment rights to speak out. It shows how hysterical they are, and hysterical people shouldn't be running government.
A firearms expert told CNN that a 3D printed gun would have to include some type of metal component because it's federal law, so it would still be detected by a metal detector. The expert also says 3D guns really don't work well and that a high-end printer would be needed to make an efficient one, and that could cost anywhere from $250,000.